Hello. I really wanted to add a title, but my thingy was being silly. So, oh no, I don't want to end now. I'm going to share a photo. Nice to see you with the topic, just so we have it here. So today I'm talking about personal brand versus business brand. I'm sure, well, this question comes up for me a lot, and so it's something that I really wanted to address. Where is it? Here we go. I don't know if that's going to work. There we go. So talking about the difference between your personal brand and your business brand, why are they important, and when to use it. So let's see if I can now get rid of that photo. There we go. Oh, this is so clever. Learning how to do live while I'm live. That's awesome. And I had a slight difficulty. Hi, Son. Nice to see you. I've really got to figure out this camera situation, because how to mirror. So if anybody knows how to mirror, I would love to hear, because I've got my lovely banner in the background with my business branding on it, but not able to flip it. So that is all good. Anyway, so what we're talking about today, yes, personal brand versus business brand. I guess I get the question, what should I work on? What should I work on first? And I guess, do I need both? And the answer is, you do need both. I'm here. You do need both. And which one first? Well, I'm biased, so I would say your personal brand. But actually, they work together and they will rise together. So your personal brand is you. Essentially, it's your skills, your experience, your knowledge, your personality, your reputation, all the things that make you you, your experiences, all the things that add up to make you who you are. And it's how the world sees you, and it's how you see yourself. So it's that in between. When you see the two circles together, you are how others see you and how you see yourself. That's what makes up your personal brand. It's really the impression of you. A business brand, and I always say you can't create a personal brand, but a business brand is created. So if we think about some of the big companies we know of, you think about, hi Leah, think about McDonald's or Nike or Disney or Apple. When you think of those big brands, you might think of, the logo, and you might get an impression or an image in your mind, and that's because of the strength of the brand. And it's not because of the logo, it's not just because of the look and feel, it's because of the messaging and the work that they've done to create that brand, to build that brand, to build a connection, so that you see the logo or see that and instantly identify with it. And so your personal brand, you can do the same. You don't necessarily need a catchy last name like me and to have your own logo, but you do need to understand who you are and how to communicate it. And then I guess the question I next get asked is, well, how do I bring my personal into my business? Or actually more so, I get people saying, especially when they're starting, I'm running a business, or I'm starting a business, and I don't want people to just come to the business and work with me. I don't want people to just say, see me out there and then think that they can only work with me, because I want to grow the business. So, okay, that's a valid point. But in the early stages and initially, and if you have a business now and you think about when you started, how did you grow that business? I'm guessing, and I know, it was probably through your connections, through people you knew, telling people, spreading the word. Yes, there's traditional advertising and marketing and things like that, but generally how we start business is through the people who already know, like, and trust us. So when you're starting a business or trying to grow a business, the low-hanging fruit, or the easiest place to start, is with your existing clients, existing colleagues, existing network, and asking them to work with you and to support you and to connect with you. So when you're creating the business brand or trying to build the business brand, it makes sense to have you front and center. I think there's nothing worse than when I hear people saying, you know, there's people who've run businesses for like 10 years and someone says, oh, I didn't realize you ran the business, or I didn't know you were involved with the business, or, oh, is that yours? Or even worse, when they leave the company or leave the business and then go on to do other things. And, you know, because they put so much effort into building the brand and not into building their own brand or their own connections and sort of hanging in the background, it's like starting all over again, trying to prove that experience, trying to prove that knowledge, trying to build that trust from the ground up. And it's a bit different too from when I say from my generation of business. I started my business 12 years ago. And when I started my business, there was this, I guess, thing that you had to be serious in business, you had to have a business name. And so it was one of the first things you think about, our business name. And I used to talk as we. And that was the kind of thing that everybody did. We do this and we do that, and our team. Let's be honest, it was me. I have been a freelancer for a long time. I have been a sole trader. It has been me, myself, and I. I have had contractors. Oh, hi. Hey, Nicole, how are you going? I have had contractors. I've had people come in. I have a wonderful virtual assistant. I have someone who helps me with my website, Life Solutions. I have an amazing social media guy, Henry Lakin. I should say my virtual assistant is Collectively Assist. She's awesome. You know, occasionally I'll get somebody else to come in to do other things. I have an accountant. I have someone who does the photography. Don't do all those things. But ultimately, the delivery of the work, and when you come to Lovely, you are working with Emma Lovell. It is my IP. It's me who's going to be on the coaching call. It's me who's going to do the writing. It's me who's going to show up for you. And so why was I saying we? And it was such an easy shift. And I started saying I run this business. And so I'm talking from a place of experience. I've gone through this myself. So but what has changed in business is now that people are running businesses under their own name and showing up with their own name. And what we see more with social media, more and more and more, is that we want to see the founder. We want to see the person behind the business. We want to know their story. And that doesn't mean that it's all about them, but it's like, who started this and why did they start it? And most businesses, and I can see all the people watching at the moment, Son, Leah and Nicole, I know that all of those businesses would have started out of a need or out of wanting to serve and wanting to support. And so there's a story that goes with that. So why don't you tell that story? People love hearing that story. And the example I often use of the personal brand versus business brand, but actually it's personal brand and business brand and how they work together, is Sir Richard Branson. And Sir Richard Branson runs Virgin, as we all probably know, founded Virgin, but he doesn't fly the planes. And he doesn't, well, sometimes he pops up on a plane for a publicity stunt, but generally you're going to get on a Virgin flight, you're not going to see Richard Branson. However, we know that Richard is behind the brand, and actually his brand and his culture and his energy has infused the brand of Virgin. And that's what, as a business owner, you can do. When you understand your personal brand, when you are so strong in who you are and so clear in who you are, what your goals are, what your vision is, and where you're going, that will infuse your business, and that will inspire your team, and that will create the culture, and that will drive the business brand forward. There is a risk, I understand, of your personal brand being so intrinsically linked with your business brand that there are times where people sell their businesses and they want the person to go with it. And so those sorts of considerations come up down the track. But right now, if you want to build your business, you need to show up. You need to understand who you are, how you're coming across, how you're communicating it, and how you're going to connect with people. And the more clear you are, the more true you are to who you are, Oh, hey, Maddie, that's my husband. He gives me talk about this a lot. The more clear you are in who you are and how you're coming across, the more likely you are to attract what you want, who you want to work with, so to attract the people that you want in your work, but also in your life. And I don't know if you've ever done it before. I think some people's problem or issue or challenge with personal branding is simply not showing up at all. So it's fine, I'm here, I'm over here, I'm doing my thing, but I'm not going to show up in the business and I don't want to. Okay, but you're losing out on a bunch of people who just, when there's a sea of businesses, so many businesses, why would they work with your business? What's different? And trying to create a unique, you might have a it's harder to create something unique, but you are unique. You are the selling point. You are the one that can make the difference in the business. You are the one who can attract the people. And as I said, it might be that your culture and your personal brand can inspire and infuse the culture of your business. And so your staff and your team and your messaging will take on elements of your brand, your values, even your keywords, and that will help to have that strength in the business brand as well, and they will rise together. And the simple way around is people say, I don't want people just coming and working with me, especially if it's your business name. I don't want people just working with me. Like, yes, I do this, but I want to grow and I want to scale, I want other people. Well, that's easy. You say, my team. So I founded the business and my team will support you. And I'll give you a real life example. I used to run, fun fact, a pet sitting business. It's tech fails. Anyway, it's Mercury retrograde or something, and it's the flow on from yesterday, that global shutdown, the reliance on social media is there. Anyway, no, that was my time limit on my phone. So I used to run a pet sitting business. In 2016, I started pet sitting. So I did it through an app, and then I partnered with someone else and we started running business. We gave the business a name. It's called Furry Friend Pet Sitters, but we really marketed it as Emma and Alison. So Alison had been running it for a while, but doing trading, not charging, and then I joined and we really started to ramp it up. We had a team of pet sitters, but a lot of the promotions were Emma and Alison and photos of us. And so then when people inquired, they wanted Emma and Alison. And we ended up deciding, she was based in Melbourne, I was in Sydney, and we wanted to do different things. So Furry Friend Pet Sitters went that way. I got my branding on. I created Lovelly Pet Sitters. And the first thing I did was said that Emma is the founder and the head pet sitter, but it's the Lovelly Pet Sitters team, and you will get a Lovelly Pet Sitter. Again, I know I have catchy branding, but you will get one of our Lovelly Pet Sitters. And so from day one, the messaging was different, that I am the founder, I am the coordinator, it's my lovely brand, and you're going to get a lovely experience, but you're not going to get me necessarily. You might get Emma, but you get Emma and the team. And that's just a messaging thing. And that's the sort of thing that you can work on. And so you can have, and you already do have, a personal brand. You can have a strong personal brand as well as a business. And I use examples as well, like Business Chicks and Emma Isaacs. Emma Isaacs is the founder. Emma's energy, Emma's essence is really driven Business Chicks. But Business Chicks is its own brand. Business Chicks has a team. Emma isn't always, she is always like, she's the global founder and CEO, but she isn't always in all of the business activities. So it's how, and I just have been reading her book, The New Hustle. How you inspire your team and encourage them is with your brand. So that's how it started. That's how Business Chicks sort of got its start. But then it got its own life. And Emma can still be here with Business Chicks here. I was going to say, another strong example is, it actually is, Marie Forleo. So Marie Forleo, she is the brand. She's a brand. She has a strong brand, but she runs a business. And business is highly driven by her, but there are other people who are working in the business and who support her. And that's okay. That can work. You can have a very successful business brand that grows, as well as have your own strong personal brand. So I hope, do you have any questions? I should have said, if there's any questions or examples, or if there's anything here that's like sort of stood out to you. Oh, hi Fiona. Oh, nice to see you. If there's anything that stood out for you, I would love to hear it. This is something that I'm really passionate about, this topic, because I know that some people are really holding themselves back from owning their brand, from putting themselves forward, from showing up, because they don't want the business brand to be solely reliant upon them. But I'm telling you right now, if you're the business owner, if you're the founder, you got to be showing up. People want to work with people. People want to see you. They want to hear from you. They want to know why your business is the one, and they want to hear it from you. So even if it's on your emails, even if it's a little like on the bottom of your email, hi from Fiona or Son or Leah or Nicole or Emma, even if it's just a little snippet from you, or if it's in the socials and it's showing up as a I, or if it's on LinkedIn on your own profile and you can talk about your business and you can say, I'm doing this and my business, it's not always we and our and the business is doing this. You are doing things too, and you are a person that people want to hear about, and they want to hear your story. So I would love to hear what the experience is like for you, if this is a challenge for you, why, if any of these things have resonated, why you're not currently showing up, or if you are showing up, yay, and how's it going and how are you feeling. Even if it's just showing up and talking about the work that you're doing, and that you are proud of your team and you're proud of your business and what you're doing as a business. That's still you showing up and us getting to see you and learn about you and know you. And it's that whole know, like, and trust bit. Those for families where you're part of we and have to create that we culture. Yeah, totally. But thank you, Leah, for the question. So the question is, how do you think this works for family businesses where you're part of a we and have to create that we culture? Absolutely. But there is a founder, and I know the founder is you. There is a founder, and there might be two founders, but you can still have your own personal brand that then infuses the culture. And I know that's probably already happening, but sometimes the risk on that side is probably that you've given a lot to the business, and then not done so much on your own stuff. So sometimes that happens. You're building the business, you're throwing your all into it, but we don't want to get to that point where you stop and you go, but what about me, and what am I doing, and how do people know what I do? And it's because if you're always talking about the business, but it's like, well, this is my part in the business. This is what I do. This is why I started this business with my family, or this is why, as our family, the values are. We still get to see an insight into you. Hi, Georgie. I should say Tanya from Georgie's Skin. That's, you can still show. You can still show you, and you don't want to get lost in that. So it might be that you're sitting back, working out who you are individually, then how your values align together and what you want the business to stand for. And no matter what, if you're creating it, it's obviously going to come from you, because you have in life a vision and a mission, and you have goals. And if it's with a family, then those values probably have come together and been created together. But just not forgetting your personal brand in that, and that it's okay to talk as I, even when you're talking about the business, and to have a profile which can be separate to the business. And I actually recently worked with two business founders who were having this challenge, because they were throwing everything into the business and doing everything together. Their own personal profiles were getting a bit lost or forgotten, and they weren't themselves on their personal channels or building sort of a personal profile. And so they were just trying to find the line, and there didn't have to really be such a hard line, but there just had to be that way of talking about, I am the founder of this, and I have these expertise, skills, experiences that led me to start this business, but also in life I do X, Y, Z. Is that helping? Hi. Hi, Nicola. I hope that has helped a little bit. But this, this sort of work can be challenging. And when we get so in it, and this is the risk with the business brand, when you're so in it, you're spending so much time on it, and you want to see the business do well, it's always talking about the business and we and our and the business. And then if you want to do anything personally, or you want to do anything outside of it, that gets forgotten. Another way to show up with that when you do have a business is introducing the team. And so that doesn't have to be all about you, but showcasing the team. And I just had a wonderful call with a lovely friend and soon to be client about how we can do that. And so, but as a founder, I'm telling, because I know all of you here are founders and owners of the business, we want to hear the origin story. We want to hear the reason why this business exists. We want to hear what the mission is, where you want to take it, but also get to know you. I love seeing a bio. I love seeing, I saw a really great one in a book the other day. It just gave me such a good insight into that person, and it was like really sort of cheekily just talked about their dog and talked about where they lived. I could just picture it. And yes, he's an author and he wrote a book. Clearly I was reading it, but I started to get a little insight into who he was, and I felt like, I'd quite like to know more about this author, and I would like to read more of his stuff, because I felt a connection. And so when we can share, I'm not talking about vulnerability, oversharing, spilling out your heart, crying on camera. You don't need to do all of that, but you can show a personal side and show up as a person in business as well. You can be professional and personal at the same time. And so maybe a way to start doing that, especially on whether it's on socials or on your website, or is introducing the members of your team, as well as talking about your story and who you are. I'm going to stay on for another 5 minutes. So if there's any other questions, thank you so much, Leah, for asking. If there's any other questions, I would love to address them. I know that each situation seems individual, but I can tell you right now, working on building your own brand, investing in yourself and understanding who you are and being firm and strong in that is going to put you in such a good place. And it will be easier to share about yourself. It will be easier to show up. And it will be clearer where the business is and where you are. That will become clearer when you know who you are. I've got 5 lovely people here, so seeing if there's any other questions. Anything, maybe any comments or any takeaways or anything that sort of made you think. I like doing that too. This is a topic I've chatted about. It's actually coming up on my podcast today, which I'll share on episode 2 of the podcast, Why Personal Brand Matters. And I do talk about that challenge between the business and the personal brand. And I've also talked about this with the amazing Jane Hilston on her podcast, How to Do Marketing. I was also on her Instagram live the other week, and we talked about this because it does come up a lot. And I understand that business owners feel reluctant to share so much of them, and I don't know if it's that whole, it's not all about me and it's about the team and that sort of thing. Yeah, totally. You can totally have a team, but we need to see you as well. And we need to hear from you as well. And people need to know that you started this. And that's so awesome. Like, I think, can you just say that today? Like, I started a business. And whether you started it as a family or as a partnership or with someone else, you're running a business and you started it. And I think that's so impressive. And you can say that. Oh, thanks, Nicola. Yeah, Fiona's saying, I'm thinking it's all about the core values and purpose of your business. As long as that's clear, your team members can align to that in their own way. Absolutely, yeah. So there's, each person is their own person. Absolutely. But the founder or the creator of the business or the owner, their values and their purpose for starting the business, well, it has to start from somewhere. And people are going to come into the business because they connected with that person, and it doesn't have to even be at that level of the vision and the goals and the purpose and the why. It's literally could be like, I really like you, I like what you stand for, I like what you're about, and I want to work with you. That's why showing up as you and who you are is great, because people get to see that and they're like, yeah, I like that person, I want to work with them. And I can guarantee you that people do like you and will want to work with you. Not everybody will, because not everybody likes everybody. Not everybody likes me. I know that all this colourful, jazzy double exclamation mark, which my friend pulled me up on the other day about, people don't like that. That's okay. Don't be here, because you're going to get a lot of that. But if you do like it, you do like my energy and my cheerleading and my excitement and my colours, then let's work together, or let's hang out, or let's talk, you know. But this is effortless for me to be here, because I'm just being me. And I'd love to see you do the same. That's what personal brand is all about. And I'm trying to stay away from this word because it gets overused, but it is authentic. And the more true you are to you, the easier it becomes. It's just being you. Like, fundamentally it's quite simple. But because of all the layers and the roles and the titles and the life stuff and the like thinking like, gotta build this brand, it becomes bigger. But really it's just you showing up consistently as yourself and honouring that and staying true, as Fiona mentioned, to your values and to your purpose. So I'm going to jump off. I would love to take this offline if you have any questions. If you're watching back, #replay. Pop some questions in the comments. I love hearing from you. You do you, baby. Yay, Fiona, I love that. I'm going to use that when I share this. #you do you, baby. Thank you for being here. Really love it. I'm going to be on every day at 2 p.m. except Monday the 11th. I'm going to be on at 11 a.m. But you'll see that. I've got a list of all my activities on the feed. So go and have a look. Stay in touch. If you think this is something that you want to work on and you need to work on and you want to do it now, the course, How to Live and Love Your Brand, is open now. Doors close 12th of October. So if you're thinking about it, let's have a chat. Let's get it going. I would absolutely love to get to know you and get to work with you. And if you, as I said, if you want to chat about it more and learn more, just send me a message. Okay, thank you for being here, Fiona, Son, Leah, Matt, Nicola, Tanya. Who else do we have? Nicole. Thank you. Thank you all. Have a lovely day.